someone has been, it appears to feed information on Orange County Register as misinformation, just as you've heard some misstatement of facts tonight from outsiders who don't know about our educational institutions, about how many papers I grade, how many students' lives we touch on a daily basis. Someone has given information that seems as though we can see the signature of some board members that want to make it appear that we want to demonize teachers. I don't think we want to demonize teachers. I think we want to give teachers the credit that they deserve for the work that they do. I think when you state the facts about what kind of raise we're getting, you should state the factual information, not misstatements and mistruths and half-truths. Because the realization is that it's not really a 9-point raise in an economy. Excuse me if you just permit me the opportunity to finish. You cut me off once tonight already. I appreciate the ability to be able to finish, because this is very, very important.
You were not cut off. There were questions of the board asked of the board's consultant, and I did not open the questions up to the floor. I did not cut you off. You want to address the board's consultants, run for election, join us up here. That'll be a pardon. I did not cut you.
I will try to be short, Don. President Wagner, members of the board, trustees, and let me acknowledge quickly my neighbors, my fellow taxpayers, and my fellow Republicans and those of you who are Democrats. I'm glad to see that you're all here expressing your concern over what's perceived to be raises that are unreasonable to the faculty. But I believe that you've been brought here with a deceptive and inaccurate piece of information about what this negotiation was all about. The fact of the matter is that the negotiation is a 3-year contract, excuse me, that is retroactive back to 07-08. I have in front of me a letter from the state senate, and it's signed by all the assemblymen and representatives talking about the idea that the 9% quote-unquote raise was irresponsible fiscally on behalf of the Board of Trustees. But these are the same people that took the 5% raise that they got last year. Not one of them gave it back to the state, knowing that the state was in trouble. And it's the same 5% that we would get as part of this 9% contract over a 3-year period. So let's be real clear about it. 5% of the 9%, or 60% of the entire raise, has already been funded by the state, has been held in bay, has been given to the chancellor, to every administrator sitting at this table, to every classified member on our staff, to every manager on our staff, except the faculty. Except the faculty. So if you discount that, now you're talking about a 4% raise over 2 years. First of all, it's not a raise, it's a partial COLA. But in the contract, which you may not be aware of because people have not given you all the facts, is that there's a provision that says if there's anything that goes wrong with the district's funding mechanism, that the 2% will be eliminated from the contract. I'm sure that you weren't told that information at all. The fact is that what you're victims of, as many of us are victims of, is political spin. This letter, and I'm going to write, I voted for every one of these people, voted for every one of them, is irresponsible because they're the very people that took the raise last year. They're the very people that took the 5% when it was funded through the state. So let's not distort the facts here, folks. Let's talk about what is and what isn't. Anyway, the final thing that I'd like to say is that our district, fortunately, and to the credit of the board, has been very fiscally responsible in saving a tremendous amount of money. However, you need to know that we were the second highest district in the state with ending reserves last year, totaling 21% of our entire budget was in reserves and a beginning balance. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Trustee Williams, before we get to Professor Cosgrove.
The Brown Act allows you to ask a question of the speaker or comment. And I will say that what Professor Hewitt says is true, and many of you have seen my email response to the op-ed piece in the Orange County Register, that I know that there's I believe it's the Citizens Compensation Commission in Sacramento, awards cost of living increases to statewide elected officials, including members of the judiciary, the legislature, statewide elected officials. And what Professor Hewitt says is true. In 07-08, the members of the Assembly and the Senate were awarded a cost of living raise, which is the amount, I believe, almost to the percentage point, that was fully funded by the community, to the community colleges by the state. All of our other bargaining units in this district received that, including our top administrators. And this is no secret, I just want everyone to know, that's what I addressed in the email that I sent out. And on a personal note, I am a countywide elected official, and in Orange County, the Board of Supervisors and the 7 county elected officials, including the sheriff, the district attorney, public administrator, Mr. Street, the treasurer, all 7 of us, also received what the judges get. So for that year, we did receive that COLA. This year, however, the statewide commission awarded a 0% COLA because of the economy. And what Professor Hewitt says is true, that of that 9% offer that was put on the table, roughly close to 5% of that was the fully funded COLA. That was given, as I say, to all the electeds statewide and at least in this county and our bargaining units here.